shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your #1 source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
It's a chilly start this morning in some places. I'll show you where you're definitely going to need to grab a jacket or a coat.
And we are 8 days out from the election, and candidates are making their final pitches to voters. How many North Carolinians have already cast their votes?
Also, it's a wrap on the 2024 North Carolina State Fair. We'll let you know how many people visited over the last 10 days as they wound things down with a big Sunday finish yesterday. Monday morning, welcome to it. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Yeah, we're still waiting on those Sunday numbers, but definitely from the last Thursday through Saturday, above average, but not quite a record yet. And meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with another lovely start to our morning.
Yeah, and we did not end up with a completely rain-free fair, but we were close to it. So it was good for folks to get out and enjoy. Right now we're looking at partly cloudy skies over RDU, but it's chilly, 46 degrees, and our dew point's a very dry 44. We take a look at our temperatures. 37 is our cool spot up in Roxborough, 42 in South Hill, but it's warmer to the south, 50 in Fayetteville and 51 in Clinton. So we have a big spread this morning, but generally noticeably colder than yesterday, anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees colder. So keep that in mind as you're grabbing which layer you're going to grab heading out the door. From 40s, we go into the upper 60s for high temperatures this afternoon with increasing sunshine. Tropical outlook down here in the Caribbean, there's a 40% chance of developing. We've been watching this area for about a week now, and the models are not necessarily agreeing on this, but this is the GFS, and it does put it offshore, not making landfall in the United States, but something that we'll watch closely.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Here's a heads up for drivers in Wake County. Work to improve a bridge on Falls of Neuse Road will begin this morning. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live in Raleigh right now. Kelsey, this is a closure that's going to be in place for weeks.
Jeff, it is, and the bridge repair was originally scheduled for Friday, but it was rescheduled to start this morning. So if Falls of Neuse Road here is a part of your morning drive, then this could impact you starting today. We'll give you a look now at a map that will show the areas that will be impacted by this bridge closure, or rather bridge repair. These lane closures will close in phases. So the northbound lane from Old Falls of Neuse Road to Wakefield Pines Drive will close first. That's expected to last for about a month. Then phase 2 will start in the southbound lanes of those same roads. So the southbound lane closures should also last for several weeks, and the bridge repairs are scheduled to start this morning at 9 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
We are 8 days away from Election Day, leaving candidates with just about a week to campaign. WRAL's Heidi Kirk joins us live from the Herbert C. Young Community Center in Cary. And Heidi, many North Carolinians are getting ahead of Election Day by voting early.
Renee, you got that right, and the countdown is on, and both campaigns are focusing in on North Carolina in this home stretch to Election Day. In fact, in just the next week, we're expecting stops here in the Triangle and beyond from both Vice President Kamala Harris, Governor Tim Walz, and last week we saw a stop from former President Donald Trump. And now one of their key messages to voters is to get out and vote early if you can. Now, of course, the Wake County Board of Elections and the North Carolina State Board of Elections has seen record voter turnout at all 22 of its early voting locations. Now, Wake County has created a wait time tracker and an interactive map to help you as you get out and make your plan to vote. Now, this is really important here. The app can help you find the closest location to you with the shortest wait time. Now, if you're expecting to get out here and vote sometime in the next week, especially to early vote, that will end the day before Election Day on Saturday, November 2nd at 3 p.m. You can go find any early voting location in the county where you are registered to vote and get out and cast your ballot. And we saw long lines all throughout the county. So if you plan to get in line, you can definitely check out that app to make sure it's the easiest for you. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Cary.
You can use the WRAL Voter Guide to help make your voting plan. Enter your address to find a sample ballot, check your voter registration, and check early voting times and places. You can find it all on WRAL.com. Search vote.
And be sure to tune in to the Today Show this morning for the very latest developments on the ground and in the polls as the race for the White House enters its final week. The Today Show, I should say, starts right here on WRAL at 7 o'clock. Western North Carolina is reaching new milestones in its recovery from Helene. Today, Asheville City School students and staff will return to the classroom on a modified schedule. Bus routes have been tested, food and drinkable water have been secured to make the return possible. Buncombe County Schools students returned Friday.
Security is top of mind for North Carolina Central University's community. Thousands were on campus to celebrate homecoming this past weekend when two unrelated shootings nearby put a stop to the festivities. 4 people, including a student, are recovering from gunshot wounds. We spoke with students who said they are disturbed by and worried about the violence.
We can't let that from stopping the next homecoming or the homecoming after that. You know, we just got to regroup and then think about what we can do better next year.
Warrants indicate that NC Central Police arrested 2 men Saturday night around the time of the shootings. Danye Medin faces charges that he discharged a firearm on educational property, and Joshua Virgil has been charged with possessing a gun on educational property.
A shooting at a fast food restaurant in Durham killed 1 woman. Durham County deputies received a call about a shooting at the Cookout on South Miami Boulevard. This was just after 10:30 Saturday night. When deputies got there, they found 29-year-old Davisha Lee dead at that scene. No word on a motive, but investigators say they believe this was an isolated incident.
Ceasefire talks are happening in Qatar for Secretary of State Antony Blinken and CIA Chief William Burns in attendance representing the U.S. These are the first talks since the killing of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar earlier this month. This comes as Israeli officials are investigating a suspected terror attack north of Tel Aviv. 1 person was killed and more than 30 people were injured after a truck rammed into a bus stop next to a military base. Yesterday, Israeli officials detained at least 30 medical staff workers at a hospital in Gaza. The day before, airstrikes on a residential building in Gaza killed 40 people. Also, Israel says their strikes on Iran have severely damaged Tehran's defense capabilities.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
442 and taking a look at a fairly cool start this morning. 46 degrees in Durham, 46 in Raleigh, 50 degrees in Fayetteville. We'll see a little bit of cloud cover for today, but we'll gradually clear out and gradually start to see our temperatures warming up. This is likely to be the coolest morning that we'll see for the rest of the week, but it's pretty chilly in some places. 37 right now in Lewisburg, 42 in South Hill. It's 48 in Irwin, but 50 in Fayetteville and 52 in Goldsboro. So the farther south you are, the warmer it is. And we'll see more of that warmth moving into our area the next couple of days. Walking the dog this morning, again, pretty chilly. Jacket feels good. This afternoon, it's going to be nice. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s. We keep warming up. Wait till you see just how warm it will be for Halloween coming up.
Country music star Jelly Roll held a private concert for students, parents, and teachers from Appalachia High School in Georgia over the weekend. The singer stopped in Winder, Georgia, about an hour away from Atlanta, to provide some comfort to those affected by last month's school shooting.
I don't care what it takes. I've got to go down there, and I have got to meet these people that have been coming together and doing this and changing the world in Georgia slowly. I want to come talk to the kids at Appalachia High School. That's what I want to do, baby. So thank y'all for letting us come sing for y'all today.
2 students, 2 teachers were killed during that shooting. 9 other people were wounded. Jelly Roll's second celebrity to publicly support the school, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, was there to meet with the school's football team earlier this month.
Hurricane Helene's impact has been widespread, affecting many facets of life, including domestic violence victims. Domestic abuse cases often rise during natural disasters for many reasons, but a big reason is because of the added stress. If a victim is forced to evacuate their homes, the chance of evacuating to the same shelter as their abuser is high in small communities. That's why North Carolina has established a Survivors in North Carolina Emergency Fund. It supports domestic violence organizations throughout the state, helping them to provide vital assistance to victims in various ways.
There was a young boy in one of the shelters who had a gluten allergy and had to have a dairy-free diet, and none of the shelf-stable foods that were coming to them met that need. So we loaded up a bunch of stuff and drove a U-Haul there ourselves to ensure that the young boy could get the food he needed.
There are currently 17 domestic violence programs in disaster areas in North Carolina. They are in need of assistance right now, and that is why the Survivors in North Carolina Emergency Fund is desperately needed.
If you shop at Sprouts Farmers Market and bought one of their Chicken Street Taco meal kits, you're going to want to throw it away. The product has been recalled over listeria concerns. The grocery retailer has voluntarily recalled select lots of the taco kits supplied by Fresh Creative Foods. Affected Best By dates range from September 2nd to November 7th. If you have one of these taco kits, the FDA says you should not eat it and either throw it out or return it to the store for a refund. No reported illnesses have been linked to this recall. Protesters gathered outside Caesars Superdome in New Orleans in opposition to Louisiana's actions ahead of the Taylor Swift concerts there. Yesterday, protesters held signs and chanted "Homeless Lives Matter." That's because last week, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry called on authorities to move people without homes to an encampment ahead of Swift's concerts. City leaders tried to delay the cleanups, but the governor's office proceeded. Demonstrators are now demanding government leaders do more to provide housing to those in need.
The town of Pittsboro is holding its first State of the Town event this morning. It's happening this morning at the Northwood High School Auditorium at 10 a.m. Mayor Kyle Shipp will highlight some accomplishments over the past year and reveal plans for the months ahead. The event is free and open to the public.
Game 3 of the World Series is happening tonight. Los Angeles Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani is expected to play. He injured his shoulder in a slide during Saturday night's game. The Dodgers ultimately won that game. They're leading the series 2-0. Game 3 returns to the World Series, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx for the first time in 15 years. First pitch, 8 o'clock, and you can watch it on Fox 50.
It is 4:46, and we're glad you're up and at 'em with us. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It's going to be a nice start to our Monday morning, get our work week off.
Definitely. We're looking at dry conditions. It is a little on the chilly side, but mainly in our northern counties. It's a good bit warmer down south. And of course, this is a live look at RDU this morning where we're sitting in the mid-40s, which is nothing unusual, certainly. We are going to start to see temperatures gradually warming up through the week, and it still looks dry through Halloween. Halloween's looking really great. Sometimes, those costumes are sort of thin and it's chilly out. I'm not going to have a problem with that at all. But if your kids have one of those big, fluffy, furry costumes, they may be in trouble. High pressure is going to keep things dry for us for the next several days. We are not looking at any rain in our forecast through the end of the week. This afternoon in Raleigh, 69, 68 in Durham, and 72 degrees in Fayetteville. Our weather watcher comes from Raleigh. Charles Wrench sent us this beautiful tree. I just happened to notice it so much over the weekend. Our trees, it's gotten a little chilly now. Our trees are really looking pretty across the region. We're not quite to peak yet, but we'll probably be there in another week or two. Go to WRAL.com, search Weather Watchers, and let us know what's happening in your backyard. Of course, we had some cool temperatures, especially yesterday. Saturday was on the cool side as well. So the cool temperatures that you can see in the blue shaded area, that all slides on out, and some really warm air pushes in gradually, especially by the time we get to Thursday and Friday. Our temperatures will be well above normal. We're talking about some 80-degree days again. 69 is our normal high. So what we see today and feel today, that's what's normal. But we'll be at 79 Wednesday, 81 Thursday, and 80 degrees on Friday. So that 81 on Thursday is not too far from a record high. So how is Halloween looking? We're going to be warming up ahead of a front, but that front isn't going to come through here before Halloween. So rain all stays to our northwest, and that keeps the cooler air from coming in. So that front will be parked back to our west. Your Halloween planner looks great. 76 at 5 o'clock, 71 at 7 o'clock. It's likely to be fairly dark. Our moon is almost new, so there's not going to be a lot of moonlight out there. The warmest Halloween on record was 85 in 2019, so we're close to that. The coldest night, 30 degrees, and the wettest, 4 inches. That was a long time ago. Our time change also happens over the weekend. Today, sunset is at 6:24. On Sunday, next Sunday, it's 5:19, and that is always a bit of a rude awakening for me, I know, and it's probably true for a lot of folks. Thursday and Friday are quite warm, and then our temperatures start to cool off. Still looking at a system potentially developing in the tropics. I'll show you that coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. The White House is celebrating Diwali today with a special guest. We'll tell you what astronaut Sunny Williams says about being asked to give her speech from space.
And a major honor for NBA star Dwayne Wade. The statue honoring him outside the stadium where he spent most of his career. Today, White House staff will be in North Carolina to pick this year's Christmas tree. Cartner's Christmas Tree Farm in Avery County was named the 2024 Grand Champion Growers at the National Christmas Tree Contest. The White House tree will be selected by White House staff from their farm, and the selected tree will be harvested on November 20th.
An early, largely text-based computer game appears headed to the big screen. David Daniel has that in today's Hollywood Minute.
Get ready for The Oregon Trail, the movie. The Hollywood Reporter says Apple is developing a film based on the early computer game about 19th century pioneers heading west. Teachers liked the game because it taught history and strategy, and kids got a kick out of characters dying from typhoid, dysentery, and other diseases.
Without electricity, running water, the urge for art amplified.
We had this wonderful scene, having a disco in the middle of the war. It's the only thing that kept us going.
Kiss the Future is back in the Oscars race. The documentary produced by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck is about the siege of Sarajevo and how residents drew inspiration from art as they tried to survive. The Motion Picture Academy initially ruled the film ineligible, saying it failed to meet release criteria, even though it played on more than 100 screens. The Academy's eligibility committee has now reversed that decision. Art triumphs once again. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Hall of Fame NBA star Dwayne Wade has received an honor a lot of players might dream about. Wade spent 13 of his 16 years playing for the Miami Heat. Yesterday, the team unveiled a statue honoring the All-Star guard at its home arena. And the artist there who made the statue also created similar sculptures honoring Michael Jordan in Chicago and the late Kobe Bryant in Los Angeles.
Quite the reveal there. Diwali, the Festival of Lights, starts on Thursday. And today, astronaut Sunny Williams will send a message to people gathered for a Diwali reception at the White House. She is currently orbiting Earth on the International Space Station. She is a practicing Hindu and says she is proud of her Indian heritage. Diwali celebrates the triumph of good over evil. It is celebrated by several religions. Williams arrived at the International Space Station aboard Boeing's Starliner in June. Problems with the spacecraft left her and Butch Wilmore stranded. They are expected to return to Earth in February.
Ham biscuits were featured in the final Home Chef Challenge at the State Fair, and these home chefs impressed the judges in the Ultimate Country Ham Biscuit Challenge. Jim Moore got third place with her pumpkin spice ham biscuits there. Second place went to Claire Langford with her Harvest Harmony ham biscuits. And the blue ribbon honors went to Carlette Bledsoe for her honey butter jalapeno cheddar candied ham biscuits.
All of it sounds good. The University of South Carolina's marching band will be performing in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade this year. The band of more than 370 performers practiced in front of dozens throughout downtown Columbia this weekend. Some of the band's seniors are grateful for this once-in-a-lifetime experience. Others hope they'll get a chance to return to the parade next year. You can catch the Carolina Band perform in the 98th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on November 28th on WRAL, South Carolina's marching band.
A concert for a good cause. How much money was raised for people affected by Helene during last night's Music for the Mountains concert?